If a state is losing its vital assets, it always ends up in a complete disaster and a tragedy where nothing gets offered to its citizens except for endemic poverty. Concerns have been raised over the explicit asset declining trajectory of the Gambia, a tiny nation that is rapidly losing its key economic-driven assets at an alarming rate like never witnessed before. This nation has opted to go for an economically damaging approach that will completely impede any chance of economic recovery. The worst of it all is that the population will be the one to bear the brunt of it all. But how is the Gambia rapidly losing its key income-generating assets at an alarming rate like never witnessed before? Make sure you stay till the end as we look at 3 crucial revenue-generating assets of the Gambian economy that are on a steady decline at an alarming rate. Let's take a deep dive. Let's analyze. Income-generating assets are resources owned by a nation that produce consistent revenue streams, such as state-owned enterprises, natural resources, and critical infrastructure. For a developing country like the Gambia, retaining and effectively managing these assets is crucial for economic stability and growth. They provide essential public services, create employment opportunities, and contribute to the national budget through profits and taxes. Divesting or mismanaging these assets can lead to reduced public revenue, increased unemployment, and hindered economic development. Recent data indicates that the Gambia's public debt is projected to be over 85% of the nation's GDP as per the World Bank. This figure is only getting worse under each regime, with the current president doing virtually nothing to save the situation rather than making it worse. Due to this, the country remains at high risk of debt distress. In this context, recycling, selling or leasing income-generating assets might offer short-term financial relief, but it will undermine long-term economic recovery. The immediate influx of funds from such transactions is often outweighed by the loss of future revenue streams, leading to a cycle of dependency and potential fiscal instability. To put this simply, despite this model of gathering revenue from asset recycling will only generate some cash for the short term, the vast stream of economic destruction it will cause in the long run is at a colossal level. This will only hurt the Gambia and exacerbate even more poverty. Little to no revenue-generating assets of the Gambia only equal more people out of jobs, which in turn leads to poverty and a ridiculous decline in government spending power. But which key assets of the nation are we talking about? Well, the government maintains majority ownership in 13 state-owned assets operating across vital economic sectors. However, these enterprises often lack robust corporate governance and accountability mechanisms, leading to operational inefficiencies and financial losses. However, in this video, we will only focus on 3, which we are about to mention. First, this is a humble request to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. The first of the 3 is the Sen Gambia Bridge. Located on the critical Trans-Gambia road corridor linking Dakar in Senegal to Banjul in the Gambia, the Sen Gambia Bridge plays a pivotal role in facilitating the efficient movement of goods and people within the West African sub-region. The leasing of the Sen Gambia Bridge to Africa 50 for $100 million has sparked significant debate regarding its potential dangers to the Gambia. While the arrangement aims to monetize existing infrastructure to fund new projects, several concerns have been raised. Critics argue that the government lacks effective regulatory frameworks and governance structures essential for overseeing such asset recycling processes. This deficiency could lead to increased toll charges and potential job losses, as private entities prioritize profit margins over public welfare. The most Herculean setback of this $100 million asset recycling is the funds being used in non-income generating ventures. If no income generating assets are being generated from this fund, this will lead to more assets being used as collateral, which means rampant indebtedness. To make matters worse, the private company will make lots more than the money they had given in the first place. Again, the citizens will be the ones to bear the brunt, especially if the private company Africa 50 decides to increase charges on the bridge for the users, Moreover, the long-term nature of the 25-year lease agreement may constrain the government's flexibility in responding to future infrastructural needs or policy changes. Committing to such extended contracts with private investors could limit the nation's ability to adapt to evolving economic conditions or to reclaim control over critical assets. Additionally, there is a risk that the proceeds from the lease may not be adequately reinvested into new infrastructure projects, leading to budget shortfalls and funding gaps. This spells a complete disaster for the Gambia, while the private company makes millions of dollars more than the $100 million they initially offered. In this manner, the Gambia has lost the long-term financial benefit of this asset. Public perception also plays a crucial role in the success of such agreements. The lack of transparency and public consultation prior to the deal has led to skepticism and mistrust among citizens. Without strong public buy-in, the initiative may face resistance, potentially damaging the reputation of both the government and the private entities involved. Ensuring that the $100 million generated is transparently and effectively reinvested into new income-driven infrastructure projects is essential to maintain public trust and achieve the intended economic benefits. The next on the list is the Banjul International Airport. The Banjul International Airport is one huge asset that has taken a deep nosedive. The figures suggest a total and a complete decline. It shows that the Banjul Airport is failing at an alarming speed, headed to the point of collateral damage. Recent incidents and reports indicate that Banjul International Airport is facing significant operational challenges. A notable event occurred on a Saturday evening when a prolonged power outage disrupted airport operations, leading to multiple flights being diverted to Dakar, Senegal. This incident not only caused inconvenience to passengers but also raised concerns about the reliability of the airport's infrastructure. In this manner, the Banjul International Airport's potential of generating massive wealth for the country fades away. Again, this will mean more people out of job and into poverty. Investigative journalism magazine Malagan exposes details of the contract the government signed with US-based company Secureport, leading to the introduction of the $20 security levy at the airport. For every $20 collected, Secureport pockets $10. The government and Gambia Civil Aviation Authority get $5 each. Banjul International Airport has seen a significant drop in passenger traffic, with a decrease of over 20% since 2010. The number of airlines operating regular flights to Banjul has decreased, leading to fewer direct international connections. This reduction has made it less competitive compared to Senegalese airports, which continue to expand their route networks and attract more carriers. Banjul International Airport has experienced consistent revenue losses due to declining passenger numbers and reduced flight frequencies. This has seen carriers resulting to the Senegal's Blaise Diagne International Airport. The lack of modern amenities and efficient services at Banjul International Airport has pushed airlines and passengers to prefer Senegalese airports. This competitive disadvantage has led to a further erosion of Banjul's market share in the region. This is a humble reminder to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, where we look at the affairs of the Gambia that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. According to the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, the number of Gambians flying through Senegalese airports has increased by over 50% in the last 5 years. This shift is primarily due to better connectivity and more flight options available at Senegal's main airports. The Gambia Bureau of Statistics further highlighted that approximately 40% of Gambian international travelers choose to fly out of Dakar's Blaise Diagne International Airport due to its modern facilities and higher frequency of flights to Europe and America. Furthermore, Gambian travelers report saving up to 30% on international flights when departing from Senegalese airports compared to Banjul International Airport. Senegalese airports have captured about 25% of the market share for Gambian international travelers, a significant increase from just 10% a decade ago. This is attributed to lower airport taxes and a greater availability of budget airlines in Senegal, as highlighted by the CIA report. As we have seen in the recent OIC summit, the Banjul International Airport could only accommodate 15 aircrafts, leading to the rest going to park at the Senegalese Yoff Airport. Would it not make sense to invest in these income-generating assets of the country instead of inflated and overpriced road constructions? Comment down below. Finally, the Port of Banjul. This won't come as a surprise for many, as you must have been aware of the numerous scandals emanating from the port of Banjul. One of the most shocking is how the port of Banjul had lost over $4 billion. According to critics, the Gambian government had installed duty waivers for certain individuals who are believed to be from his cartel. This is the leading factor that led to the overly declining port of Banjul losing over $4 billion in potential revenue in 2024. Again, another key asset going down and down at an alarming rate. Why is this? Well, currently the port of Banjul is struggling immensely to withstand the huge demand for shipping. The port of Banjul can only accommodate 2 large vessels at once, leading to massive delays. Over the past decade, the volume of cargo handled by the port of Banjul has seen a notable decline. Despite its strategic location, the port has struggled to keep up with the increasing demands of global trade, resulting in a reduction in its share of regional maritime traffic and leading massive gains for the competitors. Senegal, according to the Global Center on Adaptation. According to the World Bank, the port of Banjul has faced significantly high operational costs compared to other West African ports. These costs are primarily due to outdated infrastructure and inefficiencies in cargo handling and storage. This has made the port less competitive and less attractive to international shippers, resulting in them choosing Senegal. In fact, more and more vessels are choosing to dock in Senegal instead of Gambia. Due to these factors mentioned above, the port of Banjul is losing heavily to Senegal. In conclusion, the negative effects of losing income-generating assets are multifaceted. Privatization or foreign control of key industries can result in profit repatriation, diminishing the domestic capital available for reinvestment. Additionally, the loss of control over critical sectors may compromise national interests and reduce the government's ability to implement policies aligned with public welfare. Therefore, it is imperative for the Gambia to focus on strengthening the management and efficiency of its income-generating assets to foster sustainable economic growth and resilience instead. Giving out these key assets only spells disaster for a tiny economy like the Gambia.